Hello, I'm Steve Morton, Landscape Manager at ShellPoint for Nature's Notebook. Today, we're going to talk about why trees fall down. People have been asking me that since the storm, and the easy answer is it's all about the roots. The scientists at the University of Florida, based on the number of hurricanes we've had, have determined the number one reason for plants falling down is because of circling roots. And I've brought an example to show you exactly how that happens. This is a tree, a small tree that was placed into a container, grown in the container, and then the roots began circling. It was then planted into the landscape, and the roots continued to circle. They never spread into the outer surrounding soil. This tree was destined to fall over. Other trees fall over, of course, for other reasons as well. Trees fall over because their roots are too small for their canopy. The canopy acts as a giant sail, like in these huge Cuban laurel trees, and then they get blown over for that reason. Trees also shed their limbs as a strategy for not completely losing a tree. So trees blow over for a number of reasons, but really it's about the roots. The tops of the Cuban laurels are so large and so massive that because they act like a large sail, the root system really isn't developed enough to counteract the forces of the hurricane places on them. Also, Cuban laurels are not native to this area, and so they're not really adapted to our hurricane conditions. So again, those trees, where they were native to, there are no hurricanes, so those trees never really needed to adapt a root system to prevent toppling. You should also know that if you look at the trees, you'll notice that as they're peeled up, really you only see roots in about the top 12 inches of soil. So that's really the extent of the root system. 95% of all trees' roots are contained within the top 12 inches. There's a myth that goes around thinking that people think that there's a large, massive taproot that goes deep into the earth. That's really not the case. Those taproots that are developed in small seedlings quickly atrophy, and really the plant is only supported by its lateral, shallow roots. We use this guide as a way to help prevent and teach people how to prevent circling root damage in palms and plants. One of our goals is to really cut on all four sides laterally the circling roots, so that when they regenerate, they'll then grow out into the landscape. You might have noticed after the hurricane that a number of trees were knocked down. Our teams are out there right now removing the trees, cutting the trees into pieces, and then hauling them off. It's really it's a slow process, but we're quickly trying to bring ShellPoint back to its pristine nature. In some circumstances, we'll be replanting. Other circumstances, we may be choosing other species, more wind resistant. In other situations, we may not plant at all. While most of the wood will be disposed of, some of it will be repurposed for ShellPoint's wood shop. Most specifically, the mahogany trees. Also, one of the members likes to use the Norfolk Island pine. Some trees have been actually propped back up into place. Those trees have been salvageable. Other trees, depending upon the amount of roots that are broken or displaced, may not be able to be salvaged. While you mainly notice the Cuban laurels that are knocked down on the island, we also have had black olives fall down. We've had green buttonwoods fall over. We've had a lot of silver buttonwoods just falling down. Very few palms. You'll notice the difference of the palms in that they shed their fronds and had less windage, and thus were less likely to fall over. So palms really were the big winners in the hurricane lottery. Amid the destruction, as you can see, our crews are quickly cleaning up ShellPoint back to its pristine nature. This is Steve Morton for Nature's Notebook. Stay tuned for an aerial look at more hurricane damage.